really early in the morning, bro. So one moment I have to share the live link to others on Facebook and WhatsApp so that they can join. So give me 1 minute to do that. At the time I started writing, give me time to share the link. Also, I hope you are doing well today. Boy, I have been looking since the quarter past. We have a couple of things to check. We will start with, we have a Google Pixel 3 here, not powering on. Is the audio okay? There is a lot of noise. Okay, I posted the link on Facebook so that others can join. Let me see where I can post the link again before we start working. So, okay, I have to post the link on TikTok as well. Channel name. Okay, have it there on TikTok. So where should I post? Okay, maybe I should make a post. Yeah, one moment again. Channel name. All right, I'm almost done with. All right. So just thinking. Also have to record the video while working on these devices. I'll check. All right. Check. So what we have here, this is a Google Pixel 4, Google Pixel 3, and it's a Google Pixel 3. Is this camera upside down? No, it's okay. So what we have here is a Google Pixel 3 that is not powering on. The phone is not powering on, and for us to work on this, we have to connect it to our DC power supply and see how it's triggering. So I connect the red probe right there. Then I put the black probe here. Then over here. And over here we have the power button. Let's press the power button. Then you check the current consumption here. See. I'm holding the power button, so we are having to 16 to 17, and it ends there to 18, and I believe that if I keep holding, it will slowly keep climbing. So for other Google Pixel phones with independent RAM, this should be a RAM problem, but this particular phone uses an integrated RAM, which means that the RAM is integrated with the CPU, and it doesn't change the fact that this is a RAM problem. And also, another way to confirm if this is a RAM problem, what we will do, we disconnect the cable again, we connect it. So take a look at what exactly I'm about to do right now. You see, this is the power button, right? So I will click the power button with a single click and see if the current consumption is going to go up and stay at 100 without returning back to 0. Keep in mind, I say with a single click, not pressing and holding, just clicking like this. So I'm doing that right now. So that's a single click. So this type of problem means that the RAM, either the RAM is dry soldered, or which means that it's an automatic, there is an automatic in the RAM, or either the RAM is damaged. So in this type of cases, what do we do? If the phone uses an independent RAM, in which I've made a couple of videos about this, you can just go ahead, you revolve the RAM, even if it's on top of the CPU, you can revolve the RAM without touching the CPU. But for this particular one, the RAM is integrated with the CPU, which means that what we have to do right now, we have to revolve the CPU of this mobile phone. So if the RAM section in the CPU is bad, like the RAM is an integrated circuit inside the CPU, if the RAM is bad, which you can say in a general way that the CPU is bad, then the phone will work. But if it's just a dry solder problem, then it should be able to work. So we will go through this step by step. So I have to dismantle the phone. Where is that other camera? It was supposed to be. Let me see. Alright, not a problem. Just have to go ahead. Dismantle this phone so we can get the PCB out. As I was just wondering if you can get me with anything. Alright. Where is this other cable connecting? Oops. Seems like the technician who sent me the phone already worked on the I wasn't expecting this. What? Make sure to remove the camera. So it's pretty clear that the technician who sent me the phone worked on this CPU. Yeah, just here the CPU, just like that. And he was supposed to inform me on this. Chamoy. He was supposed to at least inform me, but that's not a problem. You just heated the CPU because it's very clear that we did not remove the CPU or do anything. You can still see that we have the CPU blue here. So it's not really changing anything. So we still have to proceed with what we wanted to do. I don't know how far I went with the heating because they have chips like this one here. The UFS chip of this mobile phone, and just a little bit of heat can cause open circuits to the UFS chip. So you don't know how far the PCB is cooked, but not a problem. You will still go ahead, protect the UFS from heat again. And also we have the charging IC over here. We have to protect it as well. Then also, you're not done. Great. And we do it like this. So if you take a look, you will see that PCB is fully protected. So right now, well, seems like the phone actually uses an how was I forgetting it? The phone actually uses an independent RAM, right? There is one particular model of Pixel 3 which is not using a secret RAM, in which the RAM is not secreted. Because if taking a look at this and clearly see that the RAM is secreted from the CPU, right? The RAM is secreted from the CPU. I don't know, it was kind of confusing that there should be a particular Pixel 3 with integrated RAM. Yeah, but not a problem. So like I said, if you are getting this type, if you have this type of case, what we do is we can just go ahead to work on the RAM only. And go ahead to work on the RAM only. Come on, bro. The glasses. So the boot that we have here is no joke, bro. It's nothing like the ones that you will get on Samsung phones. That easy robot boot, and it's easy for the chip to pull out, easy for you to just clean. This one is not like that. This one is not like that. You can see you haven't even used paste yet. You can see the amount of paste coming out from the PC. Right, bro? Alright. So we have to remove the RAM without causing any open circuit under the CPU, because we want to revolve the RAM only. So when I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I'm focused. Yeah. Go ahead, you pull it out like that. Alright. Okay, you can see the black glue that we have here. So I have two methods of cleaning this glue. Also, when you remove any IC, you go ahead, you take a look at the IC, making sure that during the removing process, everything was smooth. It did not break anything, it did not cut out any line, you get. So what do? You have to clean the glue here. After cleaning the glue, we have to try to trigger this phone again to see if the CPU is still active. If the CPU is not active, which means that removing the RAM disconnected the CPU, then you will have to remove the CPU, then remove the two of them. But if the CPU is still active, then we go ahead to do what you wanted to do. Here's the method that I'm going to use. Let me see. So when the glue is too hard, I use this method to clean. Keep in mind that we don't want to heat this PCB too much. So I'm not heating this to a point where the solder is melting. That's why I'm taking this slow. Heating it to a point where the solder here is actually melting. So doing so, I will avoid causing open circuits. So most of the glue around the IC, you will use our soldering iron to clean it. So it takes some focus using a blade to do this, because just one little mistake, you are going to cut through the CPU. Okay, so from this point forward, you will use our soldering iron. See how I'm cleaning the glue with the soldering iron. So when you clear the one in the middle, it will be easy to clear the one, this one in the corners here, using your soldering iron, because the space in the middle is free, and you can take the iron from the middle like this, and you push it outside, just like that. You can see how hard the glue is still, which is not a problem. Alright. Red one. So I use soldering gauge here, so we can clean and level the ice. So also you are not just cleaning the icy parts, you are also leveling the icy where we still have access glue. You get leveling every time. You suddenly appear. It was cloudy before. Also, you can see that while cleaning, I'm trying to focus on some parts here. Some of the nice parts, you have to quietly clean them. Make sure that everything is shining. Okay, sweet. That looks clean. So I know that if you are watching this, you are wondering, like, okay, so what if we put revolve the RAM, which is this, then put it back and still the phone doesn't work? Because actually there are times that the lines that are going to the RAM can be disconnected under the CPU, because the CPU is the one receiving all the RAM routes you get. So if the RAM routes are disconnected from the CPU, then the RAM won't detect. So there are times you can revolve this and it won't turn on. So when it doesn't turn on, it means that you have to do the revolving 2 times, which means that after putting back the RAM, which we are going to do, you have to remove the CPU again, in the CPU, mount the CPU properly, and mount the RAM, and that's a lot of work. So you do this depending on how much you are being paid, right? So, but it works in most cases. After just removing this, in most cases that I've come across, removing the RAM, you revolve it perfectly, it works. And in most cases, that when it doesn't work, even after revolving the CPU, it won't work because the RAM is actually down. Okay, so with this, what we are doing here, I was expecting the phone to use an integrated RAM. So I gave price to the customer, which is another technician, based on the fact that I wasn't expecting it to be using a double data CPU again. Okay, sweet. So you have to pin the RAM. And also see the black blue right there. Okay. So we have to pin the glue here. So the glue is not that thick as compared to the one that was on top of the CPU. using iron to pull anything that is left. Okay, you can see we have a lot of oxidized parts here. We have to repair them. The RAM should be ready for revolving. So we have to get the stencil. It should be it. Have a lot of stencils here. That's not it. Okay. So when I do that, I like to do this so that the stencil will be easy to pull up, just like that. So when lifting, you're also taking a look at the stencil holes here to see if you will see any part that has stick onto the hole. But you can see everything is clear, which means that all the parts are right here in the IC. So before you clean the IC, make sure that you heat the parts to connect well again. Because if you go ahead and brush the IC right now, if some parts are not well connected, they are just going to fall off. Okay. Okay. That's ready for the boiling. RAM is ready. And before we do that, I have to check the side again. You see the video that I was recording because I have to see the correct position. Because the RAM layout owner is the same, you can look it from the other side and know exactly how it's supposed to be.
Nice.
So we have the map side. Get it. There you go. So this is how that is supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. Nice one. So before we put the RAM, you have to try triggering this phone, which is very important. You try triggering the phone with just the CPU, no RAM. And we pin this guy here. You can trigger the phone from this jumper point. So if you take a look at this screen, you will see that that's the exact reading that the phone was giving even when the RAM was still mounted on top of the CPU, right? So which means that it's clear that the phone was not detecting the RAM. And in these cases, the RAM, in this type of cases, you need to keep in mind that it's an open circuit under the CPU, under the RAM, in which is suspected under the RAM, or the RAM is completely damaged. If in case you revolve the CPU, revolve the RAM, and the problem continues when the RAM is damaged. So now that we know that the CPU is still intact, we will go ahead to mount the RAM. Wait. You can see one oxidized part here. All these small oxidized parts, you don't have to take them lightly because they can. You might put the chip and it won't connect just because of this little part like this. Okay. So when everything is clean like this, you know that no matter what, everything will connect. And I just go with the piece all over the parts like that. And we are good. Bring the IC. stopping me from seeing the other end, in which I have to be able to position the IC perfectly, like this. Smooth. Okay. Here we go again. A hit. Maybe it should be like that and doesn't automatically balance. I know that. You still have to hit it again till you see something like that. So you don't have to hit it too much because keep in mind the CPU needs to stay intact, right? And the IC surrounding the CPU. So that's the process. Okay, so what do? We pull down the PCB, then test. Connect. Then we trigger and see. Goes up a little bit and it goes, but still not okay at all. So what we are going to do, you hit the round again, add a little bit of space to see if maybe after mounting there is a pin that is not connecting. If doing so doesn't work, then the problem can be the RAM itself that is damaged, or the CPU will need to be revolved because the lines under the CPU that are connecting the RAM, one of the lines is not connected. So we apply it again. Shake it like that. Yeah, show that everything is good. All right. Let's see. Try the trigger. Okay. So it means that you either you have to talk to the customer at this point. Know that okay, it's a lot of work. Before you have to go into removing the RAM again, removing the CPU, then revolving from the CPU. So when you do that, you are 100% sure that if it doesn't work, it means that the RAM is not okay. The what? So when you get to this point, at this point right now, the only thing that I have to do, I have to chat with the customer, right? Then let him know that okay, the phone, I need to go deep into the phone because yeah, this is not just revolving one chip. It's actually revolving a double deck CPU, double mount CPU, right? So, and the most important thing about revolving the CPU as well is that after revolving the CPU, it is still giving the same reading. It will declare that the RAM is damaged, even though there are a few cases where the RAM is not being powered up because of lack of power supply. But all these things, you have to do them based on how much you have been paid, bro. Because to do that, you will have to start going into the schematic diagram, which I think only the big mapping of this phone is available, right? Yeah. But you need to go into schematic diagrams, then look for the power supplies of the RAM, yeah, which you normally be VMEM voltage, VEME, VMEM, yeah, MEM voltage. So if you see that it's missing, you will know that okay, either there is a bulk coil that is broken with the GM your IC is not fully working by not sending from voltage. So I will check if in case the customer agrees for me to work for the price that I want to, then I will work on it, then join the videos together. But if they not be ready, then you will surely see this video on YouTube just like this, and I believe that you are going to learn something from it as well. So you get to check it out and see you soon. And the phone is actually reading high right now. Still actually reading high, which means that there are actually some pins that were disconnected from the RAM, and there should be some pins that are disconnected from the CPU as well. So it makes a lot of sense. So I will be going off.